Well, Director General Center for Advanced and Professional Studies, Professor Anthony Kila, is in Cambridge, England, and he joins me on the news for more insight into these recent developments. Thanks so much for joining us on the Midday News, Professor Kila. But first, let me get your initial reaction to this cabinet shakeup. Did it, to some extent, meet your expectation?
Many of us. I think a lot of people are even wishing for it. So the good thing is that we know that this president can actually move people, because the one that was there before seems to write everybody's name in pen, and he couldn't clean it or delete it or erase it when time needed. So clearly, this one can change them. There's no surprise for the people he has removed. I mean, generally speaking, his cabinet, none of them comes to my mind as exceptional. I must say that. I've not been particularly impressed by any of the ministers in Tinubu's cabinet. But these ones that have been let go, and I would like to use the word sack, not because I want to mock them, but because I want people to know what it means to lose your job so that we can inspire other people to do it well. This one that has been sacked, they've been let go either because they've been tainted of incompetence or inefficiency or non-influential, or worse still, because they've been tainted with some sort of scandal or the other. So yes, it's a good move. And my other observation is the restructuring of the executive government in terms of ministry and commission, which I support. This is a bit embarrassing because I always like to criticize the president. But, these moves, I tend to agree with most of what they've done here.
Well, if you look at Hadiza Bala Mohammed, she was the first to launch the Citizens Delivery Tracker app, which enables the citizens to give their own assessments of all the ministries. But we are not sure how much impact the citizens' feedbacks, influence the cabinet shakeup. What's your view on this?
Well, we're not sure. We also have to be very careful to say she was the first person to launch it. That idea has been hovering around in the civil society and the academia way before she entered office. So, and also before Tinubu, before Buhari, the Jonathan government attempted to do, a performance index pack with the government. Even we did that in my institute about 10 years ago. So it's not the first. It's not as original as some people want to make it. It's a good thing, but it's not original. But we don't know the influence. But one thing we can't say is this: none of these ministers that have been sacked has made everybody say, "Oh, what a surprise!" or "What a shame." To that extent, that kind of certainty in act of government and connection with the people is a welcome development. There's nobody that's going to be missed out of this one. I wish I'd be better live, but I think they were probably overwhelmed or unlucky in the positions they were given.
That's right. But then if you look at the current economic reality and the dire need to address the impact of reforms introduced by this administration, especially the backdrop of economic protests, do you think this move will restore public confidence, or are deeper policy shifts needed to address Nigeria's pressing challenges?
Well, I think you can only know if it's going to improve things after they've acted, although you can judge them from the first statements they make starting from this weekend. But overall, it will depend on their action, and of course, what they say matters. But I personally believe that the situation where the country, a bit of changes is not enough. Mild reform is not enough. I think we need some very radical moves. I've advocated, and I've said directly to the president, I've advocated for an economic emergency recovery plan. Something that is very targeted at resuscitating the economy, that will link the problem of the availability and the affordability of foodstuff to that of security and to that of creation of job and wealth. You need a sort of matrix, a group of people and policies that are strictly targeted to increase job, wealth, reduce cost, and make food and other goods and services available to most people.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for your insight. We'll continue to monitor trends and reactions to these recent issues coming from the federal government as against what the Nigerian people are actually expecting. Thank you so much. Director General, Center of Advanced and Professional Studies, Professor Anthony Kila. Thank you.